What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Halftime with K Bizzy, episode 99. Absolutely crazy. Very happy to be one episode away from 100 episodes on the channel. So thank you to everybody who's either new to the channel, coming here to watch today's episode, or if you've been around for the past 2 years. I mean, really amazing. I can't thank you guys enough for the support you guys have all given me and continue to give me. But with that out of the way, let's talk about today's guest. We got tAk from G2 Aries coming to join us. If you guys don't know tAk, think back to IEM Rio, where he was standing in as Hunter was dealing with an injury. SunPayus took over in-game leadership, and tAk was brought up from G2 Aries and brought to the main roster to compete against some of the best teams in the world. This was a very big moment for him in his career, and I remember when I saw him playing, I really wanted to get in touch with him, and he was super generous to lend me his time while he just wrapped up his part of the season with G2 Aries and is getting ready for vacation. So for him to lend me the time, mega shout out to him. I also want to give a massive thank you to Pekka and Raf for giving me this amazing, comfortable G2 hoodie when I went to Blast Rivals Fort Worth. And, you know, now I can support the boys in the playoffs for the first time in a year and a half, roughly. So mega shout out to the main G2 roster as well. But today's all about tAk and his experience with playing at IEM Rio, standing in for Hunter while SunPayus took over the in-game leadership. If you guys are new to the channel, we do episodes every single Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern, so make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And definitely check out the playlist we have on the channel as well, because we have a bunch of different guests on here, from pro players to analysts, content creators, all types of stuff. There's going to be stuff that you like on this channel, so I highly recommend you go take a little look at some of the things we put out so far. And yeah, this is a really fun episode. It's a little bit of a short one today, but it's a good one, so I hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys are also on Twitch, which most of us are, if you guys would like to contribute to supporting this channel even further, I have a link in the description where you can find my Twitch, and you know, if you have a Prime sub, feel free to shoot it over. I appreciate it. It helps me keep the podcast running. So thank you guys very much for doing that if you choose to. If you don't, it's all good, man, because you're here, and that's what's important. So thank you guys all for tapping into today's episode. Let's get right into it. We'll catch you on the outro. Hey,
Yep.
how's it going, man?
Good. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, it sounds great. Sounds great.
Don't talk on Discord, so might be cooked, but if it's good, then it's good.
No, it's all good over here, man. How you doing?
Decent, I guess. A bit relieved because the holidays are starting now, as we got out of all the tournaments. I mean, a bit bittersweet, but in the end, everyone needed their vacation, I think, ASAP.
Yeah, and I mean, you just finished up university and everything too. Go. Now you can finally sit back and breathe
Yeah,
and enjoy yourself a little bit. So that's probably good to look forward
that's
to.
for sure. Yeah, good reset.
Hey, and I gotta say, I am a supporter. I am a supporter.
Actually, I moved places and I forgot to take my merch, so I
Oh,
I hope I don't get in trouble. But yeah, you can be like, instead of me, you will wear this, so it's fine.
yeah. He gave it to me, guys. He gave it to me.
Yeah, we will have something in the screen with G2 at least.
Yeah. The most important question is why any of us are even here in the first place. What was your introduction to Counter-Strike? How'd you start playing?
Here's the classic story with an older brother. So my brother used to play Counter-Strike 1.6. I think I was around 4 years old when I first touched mouse and keyboard, and it was the first game. I mean, I'm glad it was that game in particular, because here I am now. And yeah, usually he would play a lot of games, and I would just watch besides him. And at some point, he let me play as well, like bit by bit. And at some point, I also got my first laptop where I could play the game on my own. And yeah, I guess that's where it started. And then at some point, when CS:GO came out, I started playing pretty well. At first, it was for fun, but at some point, I felt like I'm, I guess, better than everyone that I play currently, and started taking it more seriously until yeah, I met some guys from Lithuanian scene who helped me get into teams and mixes where I could participate in tournaments, and yeah, that's how it pretty much started.
Right on. And what was it that got you so fascinated? Was it the esports side of things? Was it just like the core gameplay and just how obviously the game is very complex, but just the basics of the game is just super easy. You go play Dust 2, you kind of just run around and kill shit. Like, what was the most fascinating part about the game for you?
I mean, it was also what my friends used to play, so I didn't have a choice really. Like I would play what my friends would play, so that was the game that we got into the most, like as a group. And I guess yeah, I just picked it up pretty fast, and maybe the thing that I was pretty good at it made me play it more and more. I mean, there were like gaps where I would play different games, such as I don't know PUBG or other games, but at the end I would come back to CS, and then at some point I was only playing that game and not mixing up at all. And yeah, I started like being more committed to it.
That's the best part about Counter Strike too. Is just like I don't know what it is, and I've talked to so many people. Like I'm the same way. It's a game that maybe you'll take a little bit of a break from. You know, like especially like PUBG. You just said when that game came out, everybody was playing that game, and you know you can always get your attention taken away from Counter Strike, but in the end, you will always come back to Counter Strike. I don't know what it is. It's just the perfect game in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean that's true. Like with this playing other games thing, it was um, something that I would do when I was not playing CS seriously yet. But when I started playing in teams or even like mixes before, which were not that serious at that point, but I would stay still committed to one game and really just try to reach things only there.
Okay. So you by this point in your career, you've played on a few different teams, and for CS2 specifically, you've been on Sprout Academy and of course now G2 Ares, where you've been there since the project's launch in July of 2024. How did you start grinding competitively and getting your name out there, and especially getting, noticed by such a big organization for, the academy scenes in tier 2 and stuff with G2 Ares?
Yeah, well, I think it was 2021 when Corona started, and I got picked up by some Lithuanian mixes. I mean, I knew the guys pretty well. We were kind of group of friends that just want to play together and take it more seriously than usual people. So we started playing some tournaments which we could attend to, and at some point we got a bit better, and different players would get picked up from our team. And I also got an offer from Polish organization AGO. I think it was 2023 summer, if I'm correct. And sadly, it was a very short period of time there. It was a bit unlucky, uh, both on organization and player sides. So that dropped out pretty quickly. Then after that, instantly I got picked up by, like you mentioned, Sprout Academy. They had a very nice coach feed,
Yeah,
who's
yeah.
now, yeah, he's not active anymore, I think, but he's creating some projects uh, that has a lot of common with CS and the tactic side of it. And that project also was very unfortunate because it lasted like what 2-3 months, if I remember correctly. And it was actually Feed who talked about me to G2 and pitched my name, and I played the tryouts there, like at the G2 academy team. And yeah, I mean the current coach at that time, Letny, didn't have a lot of questions for me. He just picked me up. He said, "You're good. You can stay in this team." And yeah, from that time until now, I've been playing in G2, getting better individually. Yeah, and I think I've developed a lot in the past, like 1.5 to 2 years. Yeah, and I believe I'm ready for the next step soon.
Yeah, and I want to touch more on that soon because that's obviously very important. But IEM Rio is a pretty big part of your career right now as we speak. And this was definitely the biggest. You got thrown right to the wolves in tier 1, got to play some of the best teams in the world. And I imagine as someone who's coming up in the scene trying to make their way, that was an incredible opportunity. You know, Hunter had an injury on his foot or his ankle. I can't really remember off the top of my head. So you got announced as a stand-in for G2 while SunPayus would take over leadership in game. Tell me a little bit about the experience and what it was like, you know, getting the message that you're going to be jumping up to the main roster for an
Yeah,
event and how that all played out, because that's got to be some of the most exciting news that an aspiring tier 1 Counter-Strike player could end up getting one day.
it was indeed very exciting news. I remember I woke up one morning and we had like scheduled practices with G2RS for the whole day. And just before the practice started, I got a message from Petsa, our general manager, that yeah, like this is real. We need you for the IEM Rio, which is starting in I believe it was like 3 or 4 days.
Dude.
And we got quickly in touch with the whole team and Ed, to the G2 main team coach. And yeah, like we had, I believe, 2 days of practices before going into the tournament, so it was very short notice. And I just absorbed everything I could, as much as I can before going into the games. So I played like the best I can. And I mean, yeah, even the trip itself is like a very long way for me to go to Brazil, so it was exhausting as hell. But yeah, it was, I mean, probably the highlight of my life until now, especially with the CS career. And yeah, I picked up a lot of things there, and it was very valuable experience there. Meeting all the people, not in like the in-game things, but also outside the game, how the things work there, and the whole atmosphere and stuff, the stuff. I mean, there's a lot, and it was very. Maybe there was even like stress absorbing everything, but in the end, I think it worked out pretty decently. Maybe I wanted a bit more, but I mean, it is how it is. It was fun.
I don't know, I just think about the whole experience of, like, getting to meet them for the first time and, you know, "Hey, I'm the guy from the academy roster, I'm filling in." Like, what was it like meeting all of the guys, like Heavy God and Hunter and SunPayus and Mattis and everything? Like, how did that go?
Yeah, I had like a minimal interaction with Hunter since he was not going to the tournament itself, but he was
Yeah,
there for the first practice days. And I mean, when I was playing his positions, he would help me a lot during the practices itself. What should I do when, and what are the reactions to certain things? But I mean, the guys were really lovely. I didn't believe they would welcome me so like uh, I guess sweet, and I enjoyed the practices very much, and I played pretty well in them, and I think that also helped me go into the tournament with confidence. So that was a very good thing. But overall, the guys were very lovely, and they were up like to help me with anything that I would like to. And yeah, only the best words for the team.
for sure. And you know, when I think about like I'm just I'm an observer, right? I just watch the games. I know nothing about playing at these levels of Counter-Strike and everything. But when I think of tier 2 and tier 1, obviously they're not the same, but it's not like they're totally separate worlds either. So I'm kind of curious what it was like, you know, adapting to the tier 1 scene and like new metas maybe, or different play styles and all of these new players that you guys had to play against that you have never even had the experience to play. Like, this was completely fresh and new for you. How was it adapting to tier 1?
I mean, I didn't know what should I expect going into the first game, and the first map was overall very rough for me individually. But after that, I just accepted it, and I understood where I am now. And I think, as you said, there's not a huge gap between these teams, but I think the main uh, uh, the main difference between them is uh, how much can you go. How far can you go by making a mistake? Like in lower levels, you would get punished very fast. I mean, not punished very fast. Whereas in tier 1, if you do a mistake, there's low chances you're getting away with it. So I think that was the uh, main challenge for me. because of course coming up with not a lot of experience to this kind of tournament, it was very tough. But I think game by game I adapted pretty quickly and made less and less mistakes. Um, and yeah, I think that's the main like difference between these levels.
Okay. And I think it was kind of a good situation to walk into because your first opponents were gentlemates, which weren't like the biggest threats in the world. You guys would
Yeah.
go on to play Vitality and Spirit, so that's a completely different story. But when you're walking into the arena and you're going to play gentlemates and you know, this is like kind of hitting you and kind of setting in now. Like, what are your thoughts like going into the server first time playing tier 1 Counter Strike? Like, are you like, holy shit, like this is actually about to happen?
Yeah, well, I had this feeling before game, like a lot of nerves and anxiety running through. But I think as soon as I joined the server, like you need to focus on the game, so you kind of let go of these emotions pretty fast if you're focused enough to the game. And it was pretty tough on the first map to control these emotions for me, but I think moving on, it was getting easier and easier. And I think I showed in the third map with versus Gentle Maze that I mean you can play versus these guys for sure, and even maybe sometime top frag versus them. So that was pretty nice feeling going into the Vitality game.
Yeah. And Spirit and Vitality are no joke, and I think anybody would be nervous to play up against them for the
Yep.
first time, especially. Um, what were when you were going into those matches after beating Gentlemates? What was the conversation like with you and the other guys on G2? Were they kind of prepping you up for what to expect? Like how does this all play out for you?
I mean, we had our assistant coaches prepare the game plans for both games, Vitality and Spirit. It's a mixture of both like individual and team preparation. So I mean, I had my let's say duties, what I should do, and I tried to follow them during the game, and I think I did pretty well versus Vitality. I mean, we were like one round away from the playoffs on Inferno game. Unfortunately, we couldn't close it, but I think yeah, like everyone stepped up, and also my teammates were hyping me up, so I could feel the game a little bit better. And I think it went pretty decent regarding everything that was going on, and that we were playing like Vitality, who hadn't lost a game in like I don't know 4 or 5 tournaments, and we were like one round away. So the result overall was really good, I think. Concerning us, I was also like standing in. We had no time to prepare at all, so it was yeah one hell of an experience.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy now. We see Vitality, like especially at IEM Atlanta, they were kind of getting a little bit shaky there. They exited, I think, at 7th to 8th place by Navi in the quarterfinals, and now you see them at the major. They're looking a little bit shaky again. 9Z giving them a hard time. So, these are some of the best teams of the world, Spirit and Vitality, but they're not invincible. Like it's kind of puts things into perspective. Like younger, hungry guys like you that are trying to prove something in yourself and your career, you could go and upset a guy, to a team like Vitality. Like it's totally possible, but I don't know. It's
Yeah,
just it's got to be so intimidating. I couldn't imagine, being like the underdog, joining a team, like figuring out their whole system, barely having practice, and then bang, there we're throwing you to the wolves. Like, dude, I commend you. That's really cool.
yeah, it was not very easy.
So Spirit obviously would unfortunately eliminate you guys from Rio, but overall, given the situations of SunPayus being IGL, not having practice, you're standing in and playing with teammates you've never played before. I think it went over pretty well. Like I think it could have went a lot worse. Like you guys could have bombed out every single match that you guys played, but that wasn't the situation. Hunter even said that he was really happy that he skipped Rio because he saw what the team was capable of. So, from your point of view, how satisfied were you with what you brought to the table and how you contributed to the team and helped bring a little bit of some positive results?
I mean, of course, going into this kind of tournament, you want to show the best version of yourself, and maybe I got a bit ahead of things. Like I expected a little bit more from myself. But uh, I mean, as we said, like teams such as Vitality and Spirit are like tough, not to crack. And I was happy to show my capabilities against Gentlemates and Freedom X, in like which in both games I played pretty well on my standards, I think. And those other two games, Vitality and Spirit, was just like very valuable experience for me for the upcoming matches in the future. So I know what to expect and how to approach these games. But overall, I mean, I got a lot of good messages from outside, like supporting me after the tournament and regarding my performance. And I individually expected a bit more from myself, like to push myself even a bit further. But I mean, what's done is done, and pretty happy overall with the trip.
For sure. And one thing I think about too is like that whole spotlight being in tier one. I mean, there's just so many eyes on there. And if we go on the internet from time to time, we know there's a lot of negative mouths on there too, saying a lot of, crazy shit from
Yeah.
time to time. What was your experience with having to deal with like did you ever have to deal with people that were kind of hating on you? Did you get a lot of good comments from people from posts of like maybe clips that you like highlight clips that you had people post of you? Like did you have a lot of fan love in any type of way, or was there any type of disrespect that you had to kind of just filter out for once, cuz I imagine you don't have to deal with that a whole lot.
I mean, I don't really read the comments and all the forums, whatever that people post, but I think I received only positive messages from what I've like encountered, and I mean, I'm very happy with that because it really pushed me even after the tournament when I came back to our academy team to work even harder. Because I mean, this level is, you can see by your naked eye, it's like approachable, and you can actually play there. It's not like a whole another dimension. So, but yeah, I received only good messages and a lot of support, especially from Brazilian people, like under my own posts, for example, on the Twitter and so on. So yeah, I was really happy to receive that kind of support.
That's great. Yeah, because I don't know, man. The thing that I've said it on the show before, but the thing that just pisses me off so much is like you could watch anybody, and you just look at Twitch chat over on the right side of the screen. They'll have like a 4K one round, and people are like going crazy, hyping them up. The next round, they'll like dry peak something and die, and then it's just like, oh my god, what a bot! He sucks. He sucks. So it's like, I
I mean,
to
yeah.
to think about that whole aspect, like you kind of have to filter out even just thinking of looking at comment sections sometimes as a pro player, because you're always going to piss somebody off somehow. It's kind of unfortunate that we're in a day and age where everybody has a voice and they want to let you know that they can use it. But I have to imagine that that's kind of a hard thing to have to deal with, coming up in the Counter-Strike community as a pro player, because you're always going to have to deal with criticism or negative comments, and you're not always going to get the positive ones. So I feel like depending on the type of head someone has on their shoulder, it could be a bit of a challenge to kind of break through that.
Yeah, I mean, if you take into account every comment you receive, you will go crazy very soon, I think. So you need to. I mean, it's just it's nice to receive good comments and support, but I mean, you cannot filter it by reading every of them in a row. So like, it's just additional noise that you need to cut, so it doesn't affect your mental game and the performance itself. I think it's just always nice to receive good messages, but it's also uh, good to take into consideration to cut the noise like at all, and just be in your space and just focus on the game.
Okay. And when you reflect on your time in Rio, playing at your first S tier event, playing against two of the biggest top teams in the world, does this kind of motivate you? I'm sure it probably does motivate you to keep grinding and hopefully one day be on a tier one scale more consistently and be on a tier one team, maybe even on G2 one day, who knows? How did your views kind of change towards being a Counter-Strike player after getting an experience like that one?
I mean, yeah, as I said, I was pretty happy because I saw that, I mean, I'm able to play there and it's nothing like impossible for me. So that yeah, gave me a kick to my back to work even harder and pursue my dreams. And I think overall it was a great experience for the future because, as you said, like if I was to come back, and probably I will come back to those tournaments, um, like I would know already how things go there, and it will be very valuable for me from the past.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And what were your biggest takeaways from your time in Rio and just at a tier one event in general that you got to play in? Was there anything stand out or a couple things stand out that you reflect on and like you really maybe learned from it or you made you look at certain things different?
I mean, obviously, preparations for the matches are taken much more serious than on our level, but it also makes sense because we play a lot of games very frequently in the lower tier. Like we have, I don't know, a couple best of threes during one day, and they have what, like a few games per week, so they take each game more seriously and um, prepare on each of them very in depth, which I was not used to, but it was also a cool experience to feel. And moreover, I mean, uh, the whole atmosphere in the in line events, of course, feel very good to play in because I was used to playing from home a lot, and I was like participating only in the very low tier tournaments, which were held at like LAN events. So this was a huge step to take, and yeah, probably these are main takeaways. Just overall happy that I had the opportunity to attend there.
Okay. And yeah, that was pretty much all I had for you. You know, we got G2 in the major right now making their first playoff in like a year and a half. So shout out to the boys. They're doing great stuff.
Yeah.
They got to play against Spirit again though. We were just talking about Spirit. Well, they got to go face them again. So best of luck to them for that. And yeah, that's pretty much all I had for you. So thank you again for your time. And you know, for the last part of the podcast, I kind of like to just shine the spotlight over to the guests. And if there's anything at all you want to say before we sign off, then please feel free to take the floor.
I mean, now on top of my head, it's tough to think about something.
I know you're in vacation mode. You're ready to take it easy and
Yeah.
take a breather, but
I mean, actually, I would like to give a huge shout out to my very good friend, Toizera. I don't know if you're aware of him. He's Lithuanian. I mean, he's now a coach for a European team called Astral,
okay.
who are competing in online CS like very actively in all the CCTs and whatnot. Because he was the one who kind of brought me into the game in like 2021 when I mentioned these Lithuanian mixes, and I would take CS pretty lightheaded, and he would make me work hard when I was like 14, 15 years old. He would make me like certain training modes that I would do every day, let's say after school and stuff. So yeah, I want to appreciate him actually for helping me get to get here like where I am right now and move forward. So yeah.
Alrighty, guys, that will do it for today. Mega shout out to tAk. I wish him nothing but the best of luck in the future going forward in his career. And hopefully we see him back in tier one, maybe a little bit more frequently one day, but who knows? We'll see what happens. But that's going to be it for us today. So we will catch you guys on the 100th episode of the podcast next week. Thank you all so much for joining and supporting. And we will catch you next week. You guys have a good one. Till next time.